Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to video 1 of the LS swapped e46 drift car series, I guess we'll call it. As I said a couple videos ago, this summer videos are going to be a little bit more slow going, so I'm going to take my time to put them out because, well, what we're doing over the summer is going to take time. So just to recap, if any of you guys are new here, we are putting a 6-liter iron block LS with LS3 heads, a stage 4 cam, and some other things done to it into the E46 drift car. 170 horsepower has been great, but I feel like I'm ready to move up to a higher horsepower level. And well, it's getting to the point where it's about 110 degrees every day now. So it's about the time to do so. That being said, we have the hood already pulled off the drift car. I'm going to be starting to pull things apart at home, get the motor pulled out, start doing some small stuff like building the relay panel, getting the new braking system built because we are going to be completely deleting ABS and running all new brake lines throughout the car. And just ultimately trying to get as much small things as I can done before we end up picking the car up with the trailer and taking it up to House of Euro's House Motorsport to actually complete the swap and get it running and driving. That being said, clips are going to seem a little bit weird because I'm going to be taking more time to make each video, and I'm going to be doing things after work most days or on the weekends. You guys are going to notice a lot of outfit changes. That's just due to the fact that, well, I can't just shoot everything in one go. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start pulling today the strut tower bar, the HVAC shroud, and everything that's kind of in the way to get the motor out of the car. And hopefully by the end of this weekend coming up, we'll have the engine pulled and we can start spraying it with degreaser, cleaning the engine bay, and making sure our workspace is nice and spotless. We're also going to go ahead and take the interior back apart mostly. And by that I mean we're going to pull the dash out and start trimming back the wire harness because all of that's going to be rewired as well. The only things that we're going to be keeping from the stock harness is going to be headlights and taillights. We're not putting turn signals back in the car. It's going to be all operated off of a switch panel. So it's going to be very, very simple wiring harness. We're going to try and eliminate as much weight and excess wiring out of the car. There's no AC that's going back in the car because, as you guys just saw, we now have a cool shirt. So on hotter days, we're able to stay a little more cool. So that being said, let's jump into some work and get some things done today. All right, well, I'm really glad I went down the street to a shop that was was able to hook me up. They're called Grulich's. I don't know, they're a local chain, but they actually really helped me out, and they evacuated my AC system for me and didn't charge me anything. So shout out to them. But yeah, we're getting the AC system pulled out right now, all the lines and everything. Front end's off the car, so that's kind of cool. And then get the intake dismantled. Probably not the whole manifold tonight because, like I said, just gonna chip away at this over the next couple days on my brakes and at night when it's a little cooler outside. But so far so good, coming along. All right, well, I think found a good place to stop for now. Pull front end of the cars off along with the radiator. Coil pack harness is pulled out, but as for right now, I'm pretty tired, so I'm gonna head inside and shower up, and then we'll get a little bit more done tomorrow. All right, so I did get a little bit more done today. I didn't film it because it was just getting the intake manifold off and the engine harness separate from the fuse box, but making good progress. All I gotta do is disconnect the power steering pump, and I'm keeping that stuff, and then disconnect the drive shaft and the headers, and then the clutch slave cylinder, and she's ready to come out. All right, status report. I'm shirtless because it's like 108 degrees outside right now, and I just need to get some stuff done on the car. I'm trying to chip away at a little bit every day, but we got the HVAC out of the car. I should have done that now in hindsight before we did the cage, but it is out of the car now. But the motor's pretty much all pulled off. Harness is tucked up over the engine. Now we just got to do the 4 bolts on the drive shaft, the shift selector rod, and the clutch slave, and the exhaust, and the engine's ready to come out. So we're still, by and large, fairly far away from having the car running, but we're very close to having the BMW engine out so we can pressure wash all of like the nasty like road grime and just 25 years of grease and dirt under the bay. Once we have that done and clean, and then I'll go ahead and start pulling apart the brake system and everything, because we are going to be replacing that stuff. I think I'm going to go ahead and order the ProLine kit because it gets rid of the ABS, DSC, and all that stuff, and it just runs simple lines, and it gives me an option to run a bias valve, which I do plan to do, just so we can dial in brake bias on the fly. So all in all, that's what's done today. The garage is an absolute disaster. I don't have enough room for all the parts that are coming out the car, but that's okay. We have a guy coming to pick up the engine here in like a week, so I do need to get it pulled out for him, and he's gonna I'm gonna give him like all the harness stuff that comes with the intake manifold, any like the weird little spare parts short of like the power steering stuff, engine mount, tran mount, all that stuff. So progress good. I'm gonna go inside. I want to show you guys one other project that I got finished up today. I also got the new dash built and set up. So we have a Hard Motorsport block-off plate for the stereo and the gauge cluster. We have our Holley EFI digital dash mounted up, as well as a switch panel that we're going to be using. There's some things still that we're going to need, like a master switch for the inside. There'll also be one on the outside, and just bits and bobs like USB ports and stuff like that so we can charge things. But overall, really stoked on how things are going. I'm gonna go take a shower, and I'll probably check back in with you guys here in another couple days. All right, so next day, check in. Right now, we haven't gotten access to an engine hoist yet, so engine's still in the car. But what I'm going along in the harness and doing right now is tagging connectors for harnesses that I would like to keep. Namely, honestly, just headlights and taillights. I'm not sure that I'm going to be wiring turn signals back in the car, because at this point it's starting to become very much not a street car. It's caged. It's about to have a big angry LS in it. There's a lot of things about this car that make it not street friendly. So at this point, I'm just kind of saying screw it. We'll delete everything but the lighting system. And then any kind of like dome lights or anything inside the car, that's just gonna have its own custom relay, because I'll only use LEDs. And honestly, off of the switch panel, there's already some fuse and solid state relayed functions that have enough amperage to run like small lights and things like that by itself without needing any complicated relay system to add to it. So right now I'm just tagging everything. That way I can start pulling the harness out of the car. And then my thought process is, once the harness is out of the car and I have things I want to keep tagged, that'll make it a whole lot easier to cut the harness apart and start trimming things out of it that I don't need. There are a few things that I know that I'm not gonna need already, so I'll just cut them, like the whole stereo amp speaker system harness in the trunk and everything like that. I'm just gonna hack that away because realistically we don't need it. Turn signal plugs, all that stuff, we're not gonna be using that, because if we are gonna wire it in, we'll just use the switch panel because it has a like a flashing feature or like a pulsing setting. So yeah, it's coming along slow, but we got the HVAC out yesterday. That gives us a lot more room to work with, and then once I can get the whole harness and everything out of the car, that'll give me the ability to really start measuring the firewall and figure out how much room I have to play with as far as building the relay panel is concerned. And just kind of keep chugging along. All right, so next day, I don't know if I'm checking in or not. I can't keep track. Shirt off because it's hot as shit. But as of today, the chassis harness is completely stripped out. Now I can start measuring and planning where we're gonna put the relay panel and figure out exactly like what real estate we have to work with, and if I'm gonna need to do like 2 separate panels for all the electronics and everything. But good progress today. I'm gonna wrap it up here because it's hot as hell and I'm getting pretty exhausted. All right, well, check it back in on another day. And we got the motor ready to pull. Everything is disconnected. Shift linkage is disconnected. So now honestly, the last part we gotta do, undo the motor mounts, jack it up. I'm gonna pull Nisha's e46 forward a little bit so I have room to put it on some 2x4s and tires, and then get this damn thing out of here. Well, I had dinner, got out and got to it, and didn't take too long. Moved the motor out of the car, transmission on the ground. We had a guy already set up to come and buy this, and then we're listing the transmission because we're not going to use that. Nisha decided she just wants to stay automatic for a while on that, so might as well sell that. Then when she does want to go manual, we'll just swap a ZF in it. So the Get Track is going to go up for sale for just a couple $100, but not too bad. Luckily, the whole front end of the car on these things comes off, so it makes the job pretty easy. I'm just gonna wait for a hand to get over here so we can set it down on the ground, and then I'm gonna be done for today. And then sometime this weekend, we're gonna degrease the engine bay and get everything cleaned up there. So good progress. Really stoked. The motor mounts just kind of mocked up just because I'm trying to visualize and get things kind of sitted where they were going to sit. Right now, it's about it for this week's video. Pretty much not stopping right now, but the rest of the stuff, I got to pull the shifter, the drive shaft, and the exhaust out because I have some people interested in that stuff. And then we're realistically just waiting on my Proline ABS Delete kit to come in. I'm very excited about that because that's going to get rid of DSC and ABS out of the engine bay, clean it all up, and that way I can remove the, I don't know, I know a lot of people call these like drug buckets or whatever you want to call them, but I have to cut right here anyways to clearance for the header. So I figure since I'm going to be pulling that out anyways, I'm just going to cut all of the spot welds for that and remove the entire buckets on both sides. I think it'll clean up the engine bay a lot and just make it overall an easier place to work with. And then as soon as the ABS delete kit gets here, we'll pull all the old brake lines. We'll run the new brake lines, which will go internal into the car through bulkheads, and I'll have a bias valve for that. So that'll be really nice because getting rid of that ABS block, I am worried about affecting brake balance in the car. And then honestly, once ABS is run, we can sit the engine in the car. Just to show you guys really quick, I have started templating up. I don't know how much you guys can see, but I've started building a template for the relay panel, and I've trimmed back the stock harness for the body or the chassis about as far back as it can go. Realistically, there's not much else I can cut out of there. It's just headlights, brake lights, and fuel pumps, which is really all we're going to be using off of the stock chassis harness. So I'm going to start, I have looming material and heat shrink coming tomorrow. I'll start getting that done. I don't know how much I'm going to record of looming all those wires, but I will kind of cover the relay panel and getting that set up because at least what it's looking like right now, I'm going to be pretty proud of it. So aside from that, hope you guys enjoyed today's content. I know it was a lot of just tearing the car apart, and I know I didn't film actually pulling the engine out of the bay, but I was kind of doing it by myself. So a little bit of a pain in the ass. But that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more because more is certainly coming very soon. And until next time, everybody stay easy. Peace.
Get down in the car, one time give it all, bust it open hard, let me see you job. Get down in the car, one time give it all, bust it open hard, let me see you job. I fucked up this hustle, yeah we hustle, but then what the oh my